American M62.
Baby ports, big boy ports.
Right, hello, another day, another video. I've managed to shoot down to catch up with Zak at Zewspeed, and basically I just wanted to check out where he's got to with his mini project. For those who don't know, obviously he's still got the Escort, he's sold the running gear, he's actually put that in customers Fiesta for them, but he's got heavily involved in playing around with a little mini and superchargers again. Obviously I used to mess around with superchargers, and now he's done something quite interesting on this car. I think it'd be really worthwhile to do a video, show you guys what he's been up to, and yeah, it's basically getting the creative juices flowing again for me for playing around with superchargers again. So let's go and catch up with him, see what he's been up to. Right, excuse the mess, he's been busy.
I'm not tidied up in that.
He's not tidied up and he's stressing. Don't worry about it, it's fine. So yeah, back down at the Zewspeed HQ. There's Zak's old running gear in a Fiesta Turbo. It's just been doing bits and bobs, boost pipes. What else have you been up to on this?
Like converting it from silver top to a black top, and they're just trying to tidy loads of stuff up, like make new intercooler brackets and remake boost pipes and modify screamer pipes to make sure stuff doesn't touch. And yeah, to convert it back to put a standard alternator back on it, because it had a wasp one on it that kept falling off. So it's gone back to a like regular CVH style alternator.
Cool, that.
Yeah, it's right. It'll be good when it's done. Should make good power.
Cool. So we're here to look at superchargers. Oh yeah, you got a new engine for the pop though. Before we get sidetracked.
We've got a new engine for the pops. We've got like a 1300 Suzuki Jimny engine, I think it is, on a 5-speed gearbox, rear-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Come out of 100e.
We need to try and come down and hit that in like a weekend. Like
Drop it out.
drop
panels
it in.
for it.
Oh yeah.
We need to take the front end off of it, do a chassis leg, and then in theory we should be able to smash most of that out in like no time at all.
Yeah, it needs to
the mounts are like they're agricultural, but
are you going to use them?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it'll be.
Mate, they're just angle lines.
It needs to be like a proper. Right. It needs to be like a proper roadkill, like drive in, drive out conversion over a weekend, because that's the only time that we're going to get on it. Yeah, so mini. Basically, Zak's been playing around with these little supercharged BMW 1600s, aren't they?
Yeah.
Engines. So this is the little blower M45, which I know all about.
Yeah, fairly stout little engines. This is just my mock-up engine that I used when I did my first M62 conversion.
So yeah, you've been buying the casings from America, which are they're the next size up for this. So I think the diameter of the rotors are the same, but they're longer, aren't they?
Yeah.
From memory. And you can run this snout from the little blower on the big blower.
So yeah, this here
is the big blower.
Yeah, American M62 from a Chevy Cobalt or like a GM Saturn or something. I can't remember exactly.
And you put the little snout from the
So yeah, you can fit the mini snout fits straight on there.
Yeah.
So you've got the same diameter rotors, but they're 30% longer.
Yeah, offer it up to this and you see.
Because yeah, you think these rotors, it looks long because you've got all the PTO shafts, but the rotors actually their rotors end like where? Like there.
Yeah.
So yeah, you go on here. Smash that on there. You see now the rotor's in there.
Big boys.
Yeah. This is like a done conversion. Most people seem to think it's a complete waste of time. I don't know. I think it works.
Yeah.
Like I've made good power with it.
You've ended up cutting yours off here.
Yeah,
you've got some photos of what you've done.
Yeah, so I've cut mine off about here. But I think you can get away with cutting them off a little bit further down. But yeah, so I've cut mine off here.
So you're not using the recirc valve?
No, I'm not using that recirc valve. And then that's all then, I've done a welded on piece. Yeah. And again, like you have to trim these off. And then you can make an adapter plate that you can bolt a standard mini supercharger outlet on, which is how I've done it. Yeah. But yeah, when this one goes on, I'm probably actually going to make like a more purposeful outlet. It won't be adapted to a mini one.
Yeah, you can do like a nice sort of scalloped, nice flowing.
Yeah, that's it. But yeah, so this is the M62 on the car I've got. I cut all of this end off and welded all that end up, and it was all really nice. And then it all fitted, and I was like, the last thing I had to do was make like a mount at this end. So what I did is, obviously rushing one day, I welded a hinge mount on here, and it just completely pulled the casing in.
What did the rotors start?
Yeah, I couldn't even get the rotors back in the case.
What did you do? Just have to fettle it?
Yeah, mate, I spent I had one of, where's like one of them
just
on my big die grinder for about, I don't know, 2-3 hours, just slowly taking out. Eventually got the rotors in.
You've had it on a dyno now, haven't you? Now it's
Yeah.
What sort of power is it?
It's like 247 horsepower or something.
Mint.
So yeah, it's the nearest damn 250 horsepower. On a standard head and a mild cam.
And then so the next
Apparently
engine.
it's impossible on an M45, and apparently an M45 makes more power than an M62. So tell me,
it's
like,
definitely going to make. You're going to be spinning this less, making more power, making more boost.
Yeah.
And then the next plan is.
That's the thing. I don't need to run a reduced pulley with this.
No.
Like
This is as it came.
Yeah. I put a standard mini pulley on it, so I've got standard belt routing. I don't have any belt slip issues. It just works. It's just.
And you're building a new engine.
So yeah, building a new engine, which isn't here. I'll send you some photos.
Yeah, I'll put them up.
Yeah. So yeah, I've gone for just a standard rebuilt bottom end. Yeah, nothing special. Just like new everything, new seals. Got ARP rod bolts in it. Painted it.
And then it's going to have this thing on the top.
This head on it.
And he's told me about this, but I'm completely confused. Like, it's only until you come and see it in the flesh, I start to understand the theory behind this. So this isn't a mini head.
No.
This is off of
So this is off a Fiat 500X or a Fiat 500L, I can't remember, or a Jeep Renegade. So once BMW were done with the engine, or Chrysler, or whoever built it, they sold the engine design to Fiat, and then Fiat further developed it into what is the Fiat e-torque engine. So it has bigger ports, like massive inlet ports in comparison, bigger exhaust ports in comparison. It has bigger valves. The valves aren't as big as what you'd get in like a big valve mini head, but they are bigger than standard. They put variable valve timing on it.
Has this got variable valve timing?
No, so you've got to get rid of that because the oil way isn't in the mini block.
No.
Which is annoying. So yeah, they also went to variable valve timing, but they only ran them naturally aspirated. I don't know what they're like naturally aspirated. Essentially, this head will bolt onto a mini block.
Yeah, should in theory flow a lot better.
Yeah, and it should flow a lot downside better. So this started, there was one point in time, there was some Russian dude who was selling them as big valve mini heads. And what he was doing was cutting the head here, and then basically cutting that section off of a mini head and welding it on, because then you have...
like this bit with all the
timing. Like... It'd be easier if we've got a mini head here to compare it to.
Is that standard ports?
This is standard, standard ports mini, so you can sort of see the comparison.
Baby ports.
Yeah.
Big boy ports.
More like K20 ports.
Yeah.
They are just like mini K20 ports.
Wicked.
So yeah, but the actual inlet manifold flange is the same.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like the bolt pad's the same.
So what he was just lopping
so
this piece of casting off and putting it onto this.
Which is what I was very close to doing. But I just couldn't sort of like, I just kept thinking about it and I couldn't really think of a way of doing it like perfectly, because I mean, it's got to be good. Yeah. And
you'd have to probably like mill all this again.
And
bottom up again.
So yeah, in the end, I opted to go for the other route, which is, so what the problem is, this is the cam sensor hole here, which then runs on this part of the cam pulley. So obviously this head's slightly longer and I didn't have a pulley mount. So I've then machined out this for a start, which is now to replicate the marks on there. And then I machined this to bolt into the standard e-torque cam cover.
Yeah.
Which
so you're picking up on this piece that you made.
So I'm now picking up on that piece.
Which replicates that.
Yeah.
Once it's spun around to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Wicked.
I just need to, because this is in a different place to that. So I need to then work out how far they are apart to then move that around. But yeah.
So that would be your cam timing
so that should be my cam timing signal. And it doesn't look like that's different to a mini cam cover at this point. So I sort of got to a point I was like, I could make it look stock or I could make it look completely different. And this will look completely different. The other thing I could have done, because this has variable valve timing originally, there is a trigger wheel that then runs off of a sensor that is in here. It would have been cool to have used that, but I didn't get that trigger wheel with my head when I bought my head and cam cover, which is a little bit annoying, but that's how it is.
And you're going to make your own inlet manifold for this?
Yeah, I'm going to make my own inlet manifold.
For those who don't know, Zak's a wizard at making inlets. I don't know if you've got a cool inlet here to show. Probably not.
No, probably not.
Yeah,
No,
I'll post up some pictures of some of the stuff that Zak's renowned for doing. So we can have a proper big Gucci inlet on there, all aluminium TIG welded. And then you're going to do your own exhaust manifold, because he also makes Gucci exhaust manifolds.
But I've never made a naturally aspirated one before.
I think you should make a turbo one and put a turbo and a supercharger on it.
Yeah, we can flip the head round, man. You can have a look at the work. At the other end of the head, on here you have the coolant temperature sensor in there.
Oh yeah.
But then there's nothing in this head. So yeah, the next thing was modifying the thermostat housing, putting a coolant temperature sensor in there.
Right.
Yeah. But it's the wrong side of the thermostat. But then I run electric water pumps, so I run relief holes in the thermostat anyway. So
it should circulate, get hot, and then do what it needs to do.
But yeah, this is the next problem. Now that I've sorted out the cam sensor issue, is there's too much float in the cam. Like compared to,
what'd you do?
Yeah, compared to like a standard Mini. So there's a guy online, and he's designed a 3D print file for like a cap that goes in here, so it locates in this groove and then presses against there.
Just to hold it where it needs to be.
Yeah, just hold it where it needs to be. So I've got the 3D print file off him, and there's a guy at work's going to print it, hopefully this weekend.
Out of what material?
Just out of plastic.
Yeah.
So then we're going to test that, and then I'm going to try and talk to a machining company and see if we can get it machined. Look and see what kind of costs are involved in that. If not, I'm going to make something similar. Like basically, I'll make a plate that goes across there and then just drills into the head. Sort of, as long as it stands as high as that, I think it'll be alright.
Is that all within the cam cover?
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got like 4.5 millimeters to work with here before it starts hitting the cam cover. You've not got a lot of room, but I think it'll be enough. I mean, I was quite tempted just to throw it in and run it like that and see what happens, but I probably shouldn't.
That would be the noise. That would be the head noise that you can't get rid of.
Yeah, but yeah, you sort of seen the size difference of the ports, and again, you go over the back. Like I've just literally cleaned the carbon out of them. You can make it so they're like easier to see. But you can kind of see like, yeah.
Oh, this should make it flow a lot better. And that's what we were saying, like supercharged engines just love, you can make more power with less boost if the engine flows. Yeah,
it's all about efficiency. I think it's way more similar to like naturally aspirated.
Oh, definitely.
Like everything matters. It's not like you just put a turbo on, you just turn the turbo up. Whereas,
but blowers, I was always told that a blower basically increases it's like a way of just increasing the capacity of the engine. In effect, it's like an add-on that you're just going to throw some more air through it. But yeah, if it's all restricted, then you'll just make more boost, more heat, and actually won't achieve much more power. So this is cool. When I dabbled with superchargers, I didn't really know what I was doing, but this is all.
Yeah, knowing what we know now, we could have made your setup way better.
Definitely.
It's
all a learning curve. This is wicked though. I didn't realise how in depth you've gone with it. I thought you were literally just slapping a big blower.
No. Like this is a bigger cam as well.
Sorry, this is a mini cam that you put in.
Yes,
isn't it?
This is actually a mini cam.
What is it?
This is the Newman's PH4 like fast road race cam.
Is it a turbo cam or is it a?
It's still it's a supercharger cam.
Oh, okay.
It's what Newman's do, but I get the impression they work quite well naturally aspirated and turbo and everything. But yeah, so in the minute I've only got the.
That's tight on the tube.
Yeah. The weird thing is I've got a smaller cam in the Mini, but it hits the tube.
Really?
Because I think the base circle is a bit bigger. But yeah, so I've gone at the same time as doing the engine, the head. It's big. There another supercharger. I'm going to do intercooler, like everything. I'm also going to put a bigger cam in it.
Wicked.
So apparently, this cam alone, this is like 10 horsepower over the cam.
What do you reckon? What's your predictions for? I don't know. 260, 270.
If I see another 20 to 30 horsepower, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I see in like 270
on a standard bottom end, not forged internals.
Standard bottom end.
Wicked.
But yeah, so yeah, if I gain 20, 30 horsepower through the head and the cam and another bottom end,
because he's well happy with that. He's gonna have a spare engine when this goes in the Mini. He's gonna have another supercharged engine. I'm trying to with a big blower on. I'm gonna try and convince him to put that in the Escort because the Escort engine's in there now. But I think it'd be cool to see a 1600 supercharged Mini engine in the estate. So we shall see.
These engines, like I think because they come out with an M45, they're completely wasted with an M45.
Yeah.
It's like you see what some people are doing with turbos on them. You bought a turbo on a standard engine, you make like 250, 300 horsepower, like no bother at all.
Yeah.
The bottom ends are stout. Like people running like 350 horsepower on a standard bottom end. And Steve Dowell at PVE Tuning.
Still as a 1.6.
Yeah, still as a 1.6. Yeah, he ran a compound setup, so he had a M45 and a small turbo, and that thing was making like 350, 400 foot-pound of torque on a stock bottom end.
Wicked.
And he did not ever throw a rod out of it. Like, he's building a twin. If you go and have a look at his page, he's building a twin engine one.
In a Mini?
Yeah. So he's got an engine. I'm trying to think of exactly what he's done. He's got a mini engine in the front with an M45 and a DSG gearbox. Yeah. He's got another mini engine in the back with an M45 and a DSG gearbox, and then he's going to turbo them. I can't remember if he's going to do a turbo on each engine or he's going to join it all together and have one big turbo to feed them both. All run on max ECUs and stuff.
Is he the guy down the road?
Yeah. Good guy down in Shard, like absolute legend. Like, he was well into Fords back in the day, and he did one of the first like ST170 conversions on a Mark 1 Fiesta. Yeah. And he was, I think his name was like Captain Tight Pants on the XR2 forum or something. And I remember them building that then and being like blown away. And I remember like we were quite young then.
Yeah. So he's been around for a while. Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
And his brother, who still owns the Mark 1 Fiesta.
Oh, I know the guy. He's putting an ecoboost with a DSG and it's four-wheel drive. They've got a YouTube channel.
Civic suspension and stuff.
It's matte black, isn't it? Big arches. Yeah, that's worth. I'll try and find a link and put it in. That's one to watch. That's going to be a wicked setup when it's done. Yeah, so it's ecoboost, DSG with the four-wheel drive bits. Haldex, is it Haldex rear end? Yeah, that's a way to four-wheel drive a Fiesta. Let's go and have a look at the engine.
Daily race car.
Oh, so the head does look kind of like this, similar.
Yeah. So it still the new engine will look similar. But at some point I'm gonna have to relocate. Like when I put the new engine, I'm gonna have to relocate the coil pack. Probably get some longer HT leads for it.
So the big blowers all tucked down
see
there.
The M62 in there.
And you've had to make up all of this pipe with a recirc valve.
And if you sort of poke through there, you can sort of see where it's like cut off and welded.
Yeah. But you reckon with the new setup, you're going to get rid of all this crazy bit inlet and stuff?
Yeah.
These big, because this is obviously where the top mount intercooler originally was mounted.
So this is just like an off-the-shelf AirTech intercooler, but you can see it just touches everything. They just touch everywhere like all the time.
And you've had problems with these popping as well.
Yeah, so you can see this is just welded like multiple times. Yeah, I can't wait to get rid of all of that.
And you got the water pump.
Preheated electric water pump.
It's a cool setup. As it is, this is a cool setup. The next incarnation of it is going to be even crazier.
So down the back you've got like a 421 Super Sprint exhaust manifold running into a sports car. It's just an E-base system.
Should I go out in it?
You've got a video going out in it, we can do.
Let's go out in it. We'll go out in it. I don't think I've gone out in it since. I've not been in it since you put the bigger blower on it.
Yeah, it's got an electrical issue that I can't fix. So I currently have a battery kill switch behind me.
Brilliant. This is nice. It's like a quick shift thingy.
Yeah. It's like like the CEA shifters and Cooler Works. They're all similar, really, aren't they? But yeah, man, I always wanted one of these in the Escort, but apparently they're no good on the MTXs. So yeah, this is my genuine carbon fibre skin dash.
It's AFR. Shouting the numbers. Does it drive all good now? It's on the Haltech.
ECU master.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, on the ECU master now, yeah?
Yeah, it's mid now. The cold start is almost there, but I've sort of just given up because it just works the rest of the time.
So does that piggyback off the original ECU?
No, it totally replaces it. So it's literally like a direct plug-in, like you pull the original one out.
I'm gonna wind the windows down so I can hear the angry cat.
it's all good, just like cruising off.
Yeah, man.
What's it like on fuel?
I think it does about 28 mpg.
That's not too bad.
So yeah, it's alright. It's like I do 100. What do I do in it a week? About 130 miles a week in it.
So it just costs you about £1 million for the week, yeah.
But it's worth it because it's fun. It
Yeah.
makes screaming cat noises.
What's the suspension that's on it? You got loads of suspension on it. Because the plan was we were going to do track days, and you was like, I'm going to build myself a cool little reliable track car.
Yeah.
So that's what this is.
Like, I'm going to leave it completely standard and just do track days. And I've done no track days and it's not standard.
You got decent tyres on it. You got lowered suspension on it.
Yeah.
And there's a subframe in the garage to be remade and reworked.
No. That's
the old one. So it's got the new subframe.
So
on it.
yeah, it's got Bilstein shocks and springs, like I do like a B14 kit or something. It's got later mini R56 front brakes, R56 rear brake, R56 rear subframe with aluminium trailing arms.
So you kept it stock.
Yeah, very yeah. I mean, it's modified with a lot of standard parts from a later car.
Yeah.
Again, like R56 wheels, Michelin Pilot Sports.
Yeah.
It's just. I think it'd be a rental. Yeah.
Is that the cold? You love one of them.
No,
always
the guy that wrote the base map put it in. It's really annoying.
I might get a bit too noisy. Just close the windows up.
Yeah, the amount of times I go flying out of work and I go. And it's like violent as
Yeah,
well.
you feel like you've broken something.
Yeah. In a minute, it warms up pretty quickly. But yeah, it's a nice daily. Like the dash is, I could have bought £400 worth of genuine John Cooper Works dash, but I bought a 70 quid carbon fibre skinning kit and spent 4 days skinning it. It's like I could have spent 400 quid on a steering wheel, but a £3 AliExpress steering wheel cover. Just try and make it look a little bit, different.
Jazz up a bit.
Jazz it up, yeah. Jazz it up to match my jazzy fucking shift on.
Sounds wicked.
So yeah, this is the M62 standard size mini pulley, but I have welded up the silencing ports, which I don't recommend because that also warped the case. I wouldn't do that again a second time.
When I was doing the research on it, people were saying that you could chemical metal it, and I was like, there's no way, with how hot and cold and the pressures, I'd trust a bit of JB Weld not to just go flying through everything and through the engine. I was like, nah. He'd weld it, and I was like, I don't trust putting that much heat into the casing and not messing it up. Because the tolerances on the rotors are so tight, you don't want to be putting any heat in it if you can avoid it.
No.
But people do it in the States just to make it noisier. Oh man, I need to build another supercharged engine. It's giving me the bug for it again. Yeah, for those who don't know, I put an M45 on a 2-litre Z-Tech, which was not great, and then we ended up putting an M90 on a 2-litre Z-Tech with the forged internals. That was wicked. I've got a real temptation now to put an M62 on another 2-litre Z-Tech to put in the Anglia. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you think that's going to be a good idea or not. I think it'd be quite interesting. It sounds wicked. It sounds.
I've like genuinely never heard it outside. I mean, sometimes I sit inside and it gets so loud you think it must be broke.
It sounds like an old American like fire engine, you know, like.
Yeah, I think it's
just pulls so well. What sort of boost is it running now, you reckon?
like 17 PSI or something.
But you say that's out of the efficiency, and you're hoping like with a bigger head and stuff, it's going to actually make less boost but more power, not making all the heat. So these superchargers love a bit of heat when they get wound up. Goes around the corner as well. Yeah, boy. Oh, that sounds wicked. It's not too loud, it's like the exhaust isn't too offensive.
It's just sort of right. But you don't really need to rev it out. The cam's sort of like You can keep it between like 4,000 and 5,000. It doesn't really feel a lot faster going to like 6.
On the graph, did you have like it falling off?
Yeah, you go like rolls over at the top.
But then for a like fast road ripper,
Yeah,
you're gonna be sat.
ideal.
Yeah, you're gonna be sat in those like low RPMs. This is where it's at.
That's why I originally bought the mild cam for it, because this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping now that I know a little bit more, I think it's worth going up that cam to try and make it a bit more efficient.
And then at least you know you got a full race cam for when you really want to know.
Yeah.
Oh, it's wicked. I'm well impressed with it.
But yeah, like this engine would be wicked in the Escort.
Yeah.
Like I'd love one of these in like a Mark II Fiesta even.
Yeah. Because it's a small display, like small CC, punchy, and then bomb-proof. Like you know.
As long as you sort of look after them. But the problem is a lot of them are getting old now.
Yeah.
They've all done like 100, 150,000 miles. And they've only got to look at all the bearings in them are really narrow. So yeah, I think really 100,000 miles, if you did a set of shells on them, you're pretty sort of good. They suffer with like horrendous oil consumption and leaking issues as well. But again, it's just down to like age and
Maintenance.
maintenance.
Is this one alright? Is it?
No.
Are you putting as much petrol in as well?
Oh yeah, not far off. I think this does, if I drive this to Uxbridge and back,
Yeah.
so it's like a 250 mile round trip, it's like a litre of oil.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This consumes so much oil that I now only fill it with used oil that I take out of low mileage aerial atoms.
Brilliant. Oh yeah, for those who don't know, obviously like Zak's still dabbling in a bit of the Zewspeed stuff, but he's taken a bit of a step back and he's actually working full time now.
Yeah, full time.
Aerial atom down here. So he's building the crazy lightweight, I don't even know what they are. They're like sports cars, but yeah, he's good. And again, like that's what got him into like supercharging stuff, because all the early ones had superchargers on them.
And they are awesome.
They are awesome. Doing it wrong, should all be rocking around in aerial atoms.
Yeah. But yeah, they used the K20s. They started off with the Jackson Racing supercharger kits.
Yeah.
And then
So what would they be, like 250 horsepower?
No, apparently like 300, 310 or something.
Wow.
I can't remember. I feel like I should know considering I work there. But there's quite a few different powers. I think the earlier twos were like sub 300.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the later ones you got to like 290s, 300, something like that.
And it would have had all the torque.
Yeah. And mate, I've driven naturally aspirated ones and they ain't slow. Like, he drives the supercharger ones and they're just absolute animals.
I can imagine.
So yeah, they got these Jackson Racing kits on them, and then the later, I think Jackson Racing stopped producing kits and they went over to CT, and then they stopped producing kits. So Ariel, as a company, bought all of the molds and the designs for the CT kits, and now have their own inlet manifolds made.
Yeah.
And they use a Magnuson MP62.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you ever want a supercharger kit for a K20 brand new, like, we do actually still have them available. And I think we're probably the only people left doing them.
Would they sell the supercharger kits on their own?
No, actually, to be fair.
Probably not.
But yeah, we still regularly fit them to. I think most.
You'll have to phone up and just say, I definitely own an aerial atom.
Yeah.
Can I buy a whole supercharger
Yeah.
kit, please, for a K20?
Yeah, I think at this point most of the atoms out there are actually supercharged, but a
Yeah.
lot of the Nomads aren't, and we've done 3 or 4 conversions in the time I've been there, put superchargers on Nomads.
Wicked.
But yeah, they're good. They're a lot of fun. They just run low boost, no intercooler.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing, I think, if I do this.
Which I think
keep
is
it
the way to
simple.
go. I think that's really what they're designed for. They're not designed for trying to make massive power and massive horsepower.
Bang the little pulleys on and ring them out. Rev them, over rev them. Yeah, that's it for this video. Good to catch up with Zak, see what he's up to. And yeah, I've never been out in the Mini with the M62 on. Definitely giving me the bug to have a look into building another blower setup for myself. Again, with what he's learned from what he's done and from what I did previous, I'm pretty sure I can make it work really well on a Z-Tech now. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this little catch up with Zak and a little bit of a video on where he's at with the Mini. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more sweet supercharger content. And until next time, I'll catch up with you guys later. Take it easy.